Welcome to our lecture for Design 350. This is a required lecture, but being here for a live meet is optional. If you're not here, of course, you'll be expected to watch it by video, which can be somewhat faster. Yes, I am recording. I just turned on the recording. So thank you, Eric, for checking that out. I do have the recording on, and that's important because you can run it back at 1.5 or 2 times speed to get things looking right. I'm gonna move this. Hold on, I need to move. There we go. Now I've got my screen looking right. All right, so here we go. You will see that there is a calendar, and we're just going to go through the calendar. Today is introduction, and the recording will go into the playlist for this week. So let's do our introduction, which is on the top bar here. And you will see that each week in the full bar, and those are found all over the place. You can get it through the course calendar. There it is that way. Or you can scroll down here and see it on the course calendar. Or you can click on it down there to get to the course calendar. So we've got it all over the place, but I'm going to go ahead and look at it here on my main calendar. Each week will list what the main topic is, what software we're going to be going through, and where you can get it. And our software is all available by browser in this link. And you can just pick this HTML and pick Design and Engineering Technology, and you are in. It's going. Lectures and labs are on. These are optional to be live, but you do need to view them if you do not attend, and at least one on-campus lab. The lab is going to pretty much be repeated Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I'll probably record all 3. It says they're supposed to be in person in our schedule, but because of the resurgence of all of our COVID stuff, I have made that optional. You may watch recordings or Google Meet in as we stream it and do the simulations. So you do not need to come to the on-campus lab, but you will have to view it if you weren't there. Okay? I know that's super confusing, but is that, everybody kind of got that? It's like, okay, it's required, but it's no longer required to be there. But if you do come, we do have college rules and my rules. College rules are that you are masked while you work inside and social distanced. We have equipment for you in the lab that will be yours for the semester. A keyboard, a mouse, a camera, a microphone and headset, a USB port. All of that will be yours to use for the semester so that you don't have to worry whether something got disinfected or not. Okay? So if you're in class, you can do that. And I'm expecting 2 to 3 people in there at once. And so you'll have plenty of room. And most of the lab will be outdoors. And you will be 30 to 50 feet apart. Now, when you are outdoors, ARC does not require a mask, but I do. I have already had to be contact traced and all that kind of stuff from being outdoors, double masked with somebody who was positive for coronavirus. Fortunately, with my tracing and my contact and testing, I was not infected for 10 days worth of testing, so that was good. But I am going to require that you do wear a mask during lab, even during outdoor work, because you never know, whether you need to walk up to somebody or look through the same thing once or twice. So, and it's easy to do. So that's my requirement. So that's how to do the lab. We've got all these cool playlists. I put this one together. You should kind of look these over. Run them at, I suggest 1.5 speed. That's 15 minutes and you'll be done with that playlist. Here's, simple ones here. And here's how to do week 1 submittal.
Welcome to another demo for...
So that's how to do week 1 submittal. The orientation module, just go there, right? That's, where is that? Start here, big, and just start running through it. This one's really cool. If you can type in where you are, you can see which native nation you displaced. Isn't that an amazing, cool thing? That's kind of neat. Like, oh no. Let's go Davis, California. There it goes. So it tells us really what was going on. We've got, isn't that cool? So that's groovy. We should know that we have displaced people to get all the cool, good stuff that we've used, and we should not take that for granted. So just walk through here and do this stuff. This is what our course is going to cover. So it's right there. We're going to do survey data and drawings. We're going to do land planning. And then we've got a very, very cool set of social justice applications. Our first one being a foster youth support project that's really got some legs to it, you guys. You're going to have some real good work to present out of this class as we move along. And then our project work comes in 3. We've got the foster youth support project, we've got a local infill project, and a commercial project. So that's what to do there. Just do all this good stuff. On to the next page. Just go through this and figure things out. So once you've been through here, I'm going to come back to the syllabus in a little while. But that's your things to attend, view, and read. That's probably going to take you 3 or 4 or 5 hours a week to do all that. There's a bunch. This is a heavy-duty class. You might be able to get down to 3 or 4 hours, but be figuring it. You got 2 hours just in watching this, although if you watch the videos, you can cut that down to half that time. There is a bunch of reading. If you are interested, I have a course you can take. It's a short course. It's like 8 weeks long, but it does add on to your load. But it will really help you learn how to read this stuff I'm asking you to read. Okay, there's a bunch of reading. I will be helping you learn how to do that reading through this class, but you can do more. Okay, No real samples this week, although this sample one submittal, that's sort of
Welcome to another.
that's sort of one of them. You have 4 postings to do this week. Normally it will only be 2. Normally it will only be 2. There are no simulations this week, but you will have some simulations every week. There will be some simulations to do just about every week. Okay? And there will usually be some sort of skill development activities that have to do with the course. Let's see if I've got any listed for next week already. Yep, you've got 6 properties to draw, and you've got some equipment setup to do. So you've got, and these properties won't take you long. That's next week. Okay? And setting up your equipment won't take long. And I'll show you how to do this if you are doing this online. Okay? If you are doing this online, I will show you what to do. Okay, so that's an example. And your simulation, the first 2 or 3 weeks, is going to be a simulation called Drop Bear Falls that really, it's sort of about land planning. It's really about productivity and where you're going to spend your money and how you're going to spend your money. And you'll see that that gets related to land planning near the end of the class. It's really kind of a fun one. If you go to the WebGL version of it, it's a little bit of a hard load in the WebGL, but you'll see that it it's having to do some work to do this load. So you get to do maintenance, you get to feed the animals, you get to self-vegemate, have viewers, and you make money. And so the whole idea on land planning is, what do you spend your resources on? Do you spend it on infrastructure or this or that or the other things? So and you can change your avatar to be somebody else, stuff like that. It's cool, simple little game. Let's go over here and take a look at our little guy who's standing there. You know, we got the koala helping us mow. The big thing is you got to make sure that the drop bears don't get you. And drop bears are mythical creatures that live in the trees that jump on your head and chew your ears. So you have to spread Vegemite on it. So so that's part of what you're going to be doing as part of your stuff. But we'll go back to this week. Simulations. Okay, so let's see what our template. I think I have the wrong template in here. I gave it a try. I'm not sure all of my template is right. That one's 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 right. Nope, that one's wrong. That one's wrong. That one's wrong. So I'll have to remove those 3. And then this is all right. So I've got a few things in there that got copied in the wrong place. Welcome, Leah. Good to have you on with us. We are recording, so no big deal. So you'll go and you'll get your template. You'll put stuff in there and make a PDF of it. Here's where to go to put it in, make a PDF, and you do your certification. Okay, as always. Let me go over the assessment rubric for you. Okay, each week you're going to be, whatever the value is, it will usually be 10. You'll get, your grade will have 4 components to it. This is how each component is measured. Each page has a point value, and if you get a green check mark on it or a green mark, you'll get full credit, yellow half credit, red none. And these are the criteria. And the goal is that maybe week 1, 2, 3, and 4, you might get a green or a yellow, but I'll give you annotations that help you make it better every time. After week 5 or 6 or 7, I get a little tougher. 8, 9, and 10, a little tougher. 11, 12, 13, a little tougher. Man, by 14 and 15, they better be getting right, or you're going to be getting lots of these. Okay? But there's your rubric on technical content, visual clarity, professionalism, and clearly demonstrates understanding. So that rubric will always be there for you. Okay, I'm doing great on time, so that's really cool. What I want to do now is I'll go back to the orientation. So when you're here, you can just click on Start Here. Click, click, click. Well, let me do the What's Up with Lab really quick. So lab sessions did start yesterday. We have one tomorrow. We have one Friday. Okay. You have the option to take the lab sessions fully online. Okay. If you can't come to campus, you're not comfortable coming with campus, recall that on October 1st, coming onto campus will require vaccination. If you're not able to get that, we do have vaccination clinics on campus. If you're not willing to get one, I hope you will. It's professional, it's courteous, it's how you deal in the professional community. But if you have a reason, and there are very good reasons, I've got, I've got a friend who's going through chemotherapy. She is definitely not getting the vaccine while she's going through chemotherapy. So there are some reasons that seem to be pretty reasonable. But if you are not comfortable coming on campus, I also know that being double vaxxed myself, I was close contact traced to another double vaxxed person outside with masks. They got coronavirus. So there are going to be many people, I believe, that still want to remain online, and I'm fully down with that. No problems. We will make it happen. If you wish to come to campus and do the lab, and you really will learn a lot, we are being very careful, and our controls are in place to ensure your safety to the highest degree, probably a higher degree than most places. You can select at least one session, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 to noon. And of course, you may choose none, 1, 2, or all 3 of them. We're just getting accustomed to the lab this week. No survey. That will start next week. And so if you've already come, you've kind of got it down. If you do come, we're going to hand you a keyboard and a mouse and some stuff, and we're going to just make sure that everything is working. Parking is free on campus this semester, So you just go to Lot A and come to room 309. Okay, if you have any questions, just email me. So once that's done, you just go to start here and start working through this. We were here a moment ago. And this is what we're going to cover. It's really cool. And here's how to read a syllabus, why to read a syllabus. And here is the syllabus. It's going to ask you to make your own copy of it so that you've got one. So this is cool. Look at how neat this is. This is what's covered in it. Okay, you can hear my cool nothing easy, nothing easy. How to get a hold of me. To get a hold of your home base coach. You can DM me on Discord. That's the best way. Here are our student learning or here's about the course. Look at this. 54 hours of lecture. 108 hours of lab. Up to 66 hours of homework. Woo! 10 to 15 hours a week. If you're really pretty fast at doing this stuff and you're a good reader and you have all those skills down to read all the material and go through it, 10 hours. Okay, if you're not, 14 or more. This is a big class. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're looking at your load and your schedule and trying to figure out what to do. Of course, some of that you can double speed through if you wait to watch it online. Okay, and on the labs, I will be working with a videographer to video the labs and then actually produce it into a really good educational video. So the labs might be a week or two late, although I'll post the stuff, but we're really going to try to make these into good videos that you can go back and watch later on. So that idea of going through with a real quick, 2x speed review is probably worthwhile. And then we'll have some really good videos when we're done. That's our goal. Okay, it's a high flex class, which means you are not expected to attend at a specific time. I think you're going to get more out of the class if you do. And so that option is there for you. Everything will be recorded, and all of our software is available through VMware for Windows, Mac, and Chromebook. I did try a tablet. It was really slow. So keep that in mind. Really, really slow. It does work on a Chromebook quite well. Okay. This says minimum 1 week on campus. We've already said that you don't actually have to do that. Okay, any questions on that so far? Just pipe in if you have questions. Okay, this is a big deal. Make drawings. Analyze, design, create drawings. Specifically, site plans, topo maps, and profiles. You have to be able to do those 3 things. We're going to give you that opportunity just to draw those. Develop design conclusions based on sound architecture and engineering principles. That's your project work. You will develop design conclusions in your project work. Okay, so you don't really start doing that until the last 4 to 6 weeks. Design, draw, and present design solutions through graphic and oral presentations. You will be doing that. Sometimes the design solutions are ones that you're given, and you do some design work, some drawing, and some presentation. Okay. Evaluate based on peer group and instructor critiques. So that will happen on discussion boards and through your assessments for me. Here's the biggie. Use survey equipment. Gather data and develop maps, traverses, and profiles. So you're going, how am I going to use survey equipment? We have simulations that allow you to do that very well. All of the functions are done. You will get to do them. It's just harder to do it on the piece of equipment. Like looking, I'm going to show you a piece of equipment. Here it is. Need to stop sharing my screen and get rid of my blur. There is a theodolite. That's the piece of equipment you're going to learn how to use. And I tell you, let's see, squinting through this little thing and this little thing is really hard. And getting this tiny little bubble here level, now you see why we have to do this with professional editing. That's really hard. So, getting some practice at doing that is kind of important. So you'll be able to get some hands-on with those things. And holding the rod straight up and down and getting the data and putting the rods in place. It's not all that easy. So yes, you will get excellent practice using our simulations, but it's really cool to use it. And then this is really cool, and it's really environmental, sustainable, and social land planning concepts. And you will get that for sure. It's a huge part of what we're going to do. So there you go. And the reason you need this as a landscaper is this one, and this one. Okay? That's what landscapers need to be able to do. So that's why this is included in the landscape architecture class. Okay, any questions on that so far? Everything's looking cool and groovy. Okay, then here's a link to your calendar again. Grading. Some of you have had me before. It's actually 10 points, not 4. And I've got a different rubric, not this one, but that's okay. So you know, you'll get your grades. Okay? Might take me a week, but I don't think so. Revisions. Most of you have had me before. You can revise your submittal. If you made your submittal and it's substantially correct and it's markup, I'll let you change the things that I mark up within a week. Okay? You're only going to get half a point total for the markup. So if you had a 8.5, you could get a 9. If you had a 9, you could get a 9.5. Something like that. It's really so that you do the markup work. That's what we want. If I do markups and you don't address them, I just stop doing them. So you'll see markups more at the beginning than at the end because I just stop doing them if you don't do them. That makes sense. Why would I? Okay. So you can do revisions. you're welcome to. Late work will go in the late work module. You don't see it yet because I haven't turned it on, because there's nothing that can be turned in late yet. And as usual, I will just give you a 0. And then at the end of the semester, I'll pick half of your late work and grade it. I'm not going to go back and do late work. It's a lot more time consuming for me. So, and like, come on, just turn the thing in. it's really useful. Okay. So that most of you have been through that with me. Late work, it's just not useful to your client, to me, to yourself to get stuff done late. Reductions to the finest grade. Your client expects work to be done well and on time. So let's start practicing that now. Okay. So a few things can reduce your final grade. Failure to access the online material. I give you stuff online and you don't access it and you just didn't do it, then bink. I'm keeping track of how much that is. I can tell. I see it on your submittals. You go down a grade. Okay. 3 or more late weekly submittals. Week 7, 11, and 14. You go down a grade. Plus, I only grade half of it. Okay. Failure to submit your portfolio. Your portfolio at the end is pulled from all this good stuff we've done. And it's the equivalent of handing your client your finished product. We need to move along with what is what's required in industry. Okay. And if you look at the what's up with all that work video, it goes over why that is. So those 3 things can cause a problem. Now, these are here as rules. All you got to do is communicate with me if you want me to work around a rule. Just tell me. Communicate. Send me an email. Right? Send me an email that this is going to be a problem for you. Late work is going to be a problem for you. Getting something done is going to be a problem for you. Getting this done within a week is going to be a problem for you. If you let me know professionally ahead of time through an email or a DM on Discord, we have a chance to take care of it. And that's really, really important. So yeah, these are rules. Rules are meant to be discussed and modified if the situation warrants. So please communicate with me if one of these things is a problem. Everybody good with that? Okay, here's the next one that you should like automatically. What's going on that brings this into focus? Somebody tell me. What's the big news in the last 3 months about this? Honesty and professionalism. Come on, I know you guys all watch the news. Land planning, construction, all that kind of stuff. Surfside, Florida, condominium collapse. Right? If you've been watching that, you are finding out that they just went around the rules, lock, stock, and barrel. Man, that just can't happen. Everybody, yeah, not sure how you didn't think of that. Yeah, it's because whenever, I mean, that always happens, right? It's like, what is it? by asking the question, I probably drive it right out of the. That happens to me all the time too. It's like Eric goes, "Why didn't I think of that?" Um, so everybody involved with allowing that to happen should go to jail. I mean, and a lot of them are dead, so you're not gonna do anything. That was the classic example of skirting the rules, skirting the regulations, making up excuses, and going around it so that somebody could make more money. Okay? And it started with their land planning system and their lack of inspection and regulatory control. So when people tell me, oh, yeah, no, they'll do it, industry can do it, baloney, they won't. And I've been on numerous projects myself where stupid people violated professional ethics and caused tremendous damage. Fortunately, I was not involved on any that caused a death. It's certainly, um, the towers in Las Vegas that I worked on that pancaked, the sewage treatment plant that um, wrapped a 16-inch pump around a column 5 times the pipe and blew into the cafeteria because somebody decided to make a 100-yard long 100 psi air bomb because they were a dipshit, pardon me. But how can you let that happen? Brown and Caldwell, professional engineers, let that happen. You have to guard against it, and it's hard. So we start with just making sure that you know how to certify that you've done your job. And in this class, you will certify that you've done your own work and you've done it honestly and truly, and it represents your skill and your ability and the time that you had to get the work done. You could have more skill and ability, but didn't have the time. If you cheat to get it done to your skill and ability because you didn't have the time, that's just as bad. Okay? So, super, super, super important when we're talking about land planning and approval of plans and approval of what's going to happen. When we do require collaboration, which will be considerable amount, just make sure that we know who did what. You violate this policy, it's called a false certification, and you will get a 0 grade for that week. And I will go back and check everything else you've done. If we see that it's some sort of regular occurrence, you could get referred to the dean in addition to getting a bunch of zeros, and you could also be and you could go to the Office of Student Conduct. It could reduce your final grade, and it applies to whoever helped you if somebody did. Any questions on that? This is so, so, so important. So I hope that you'll go watch that little video. Most of you probably have already because you've had a class with me. This, I think you've got down. We're high flex. You choose how you want to participate. We are 0 textbook cost. There's a ton of reading material that I've pulled from the web. You will need to access it and learn how to read it well. We do have a class available to help, but I will be helping you also. You do not need to purchase anything for this course. If you need help getting a computer or anything like that, let your home-based coach know, let me know, let the dean know, get that help. They are flooded with student support money from the federal government. They will get you help. So it's really, really, really cool right now. If you have any kind of special needs that you can think of, especially if it's something that can officially be done through DSP&S, let us know. We will make every accommodation possible to meet your needs, as long as they are something that our college can approve. Okay, everybody good on that? Okay, the complaint process, there's an important one. Having a formalized complaint process is important. My very first ISO 9001 audit, they showed up, we paid them $30,000, and they left within half an hour. Because we failed this. We had no way to make complaints. Our company had no complaint process. And you go, how can that be? You're a manufacturing company. Well, they weren't concerned. We did have a way for our company, for our clients to complain. We did. But we had no management control to take complaints from the people that are working. And that is one of the death marks in an ISO 9001. When that comes up, they just stop. And so that really taught me how important that is. So I think you should know how to do it. And so this is how you do it, to make a complaint. If it's one of these types of things, I didn't like my grade, I haven't been graded, I need more time, blah, 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 blah. If you have a complaint, or, God, you're so hard in your grading, why can't I use white lettering on a white background? I think it's really cool to make people look for it. Send me an email. It always starts with an official, and it's got to be from your W number. Official email. Wait a day or two, because I might be busy, or might try figuring out the response, and then look at the response and see if it met your concern. If it did, that's great. If it didn't, or if it's about me, like, I can't stand that blurry background. He's killing me. He always has a blurry background. And you don't want to bring it up with me because you think I might get upset. Then you take it to our dean. Okay? Here's how to get a hold of him. There he is, right there. Same thing. Wait a day or two. He's busy. And then see if it addresses your need. And if not, our dean will have the ability to move it forward. Okay? Any questions on that? That's your syllabus. So in your submittal, you'll just make each one of these green to show that you did it in your submittal. Alrighty-o. That is really no, I think I hit. Oh, no, let's do the discussions. Bank, there's the discussions. Introduce yourself. We've got which one? I sent it to the wrong one. I tell you, they did a Zoom upgrade and it just mixed all our stuff up. So go to your discussions here. I'll fix that up. Go to your discussions here and do the discussions. I'll fix those discussions. There's an introduce yourself. There's a what did inspire you to do this kind of stuff. There's one about productivity. How do we measure productivity? And there's one about job skills. Okay? A job search. Each one of those might take 5 minutes. Okay? But what we would really like is for you to make a video. At some point, you need to start being able to talk about your work and about yourself in a way that will help you get a job. So think about that while you're doing this. How can you make this practice as a professional presentation that you can make? So the best is to do a video recording. That's not there either. Wow. Good old Canvas just eliminates tons of stuff that I've done. I'll clean this all up for you. But you know how to make a video, right? You can make a sound recording. You can come to a meet. You can post something. Look, this is the easy way. The cool way to do it is to go to this thing and just upload and make a recording. There we go. You can just start recording cool stuff. Start a recording and just know what you're doing. If you don't want that, you can turn the video off and just make a plain old recording. So it's not too hard to do this. I think you guys will be able to do it without too much problem. Okay. Any questions about what we got going on? This week is just do this stuff. Everybody cool? All right. Well, then there we go. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. I'm going to turn off